Hi, my name is Zulma Alejandra, and my piece is entitled Suitcase. No, not his Vans. I immediately tuck the shoes back into the giant-sized maleta. My eyes swell with lágrimas. My tears cloud my thinking. My hands unpack tirelessly as they plead for justice. He was only 6 months old when he crossed the border with Mama y Papa. I begin to unpack and unfold. Ramon, Ramon, Ramon. My brother's name becomes a prayer. I, too, wasn't given the choice to decide where and when I'd be born. I was born 3 years after my older brother, Ramon. I was born in Oakland, California. The new spotless, clean white socks. I shoved them into the Vans. Mama bought them just 2 days ago. 3 days before that, we had just learned about my brother's last day in the United States. 3 months before that, he was apprehended by the police one night while he was hanging out with his friends. A week later, he was taken into the Immigration Detention Center in Arizona. The white socks, I can't take those out. He didn't wear socks on his first court day. I know because I saw. He didn't wear socks nor laces on his second court day. Those were the only 2 times I saw my brother during the 3-month period he surrendered into custody. Similar to how we surrendered to our daily chores as kids. I took care of the laundry, sweeping, and the daunting dishes. My brother always had dibs on the bathroom. I never quite understood why, but he always finished in less than 5 minutes. I didn't complain much because he always made the best pancakes and eggs. He'd always make enough for me. Our chores and my brother's eggs and pancakes marked the beginning of our summer days. His baggy jeans. They were very tightly folded. Mi mama despised the baggy jeans. Still, she packed them. I didn't mind the baggy jeans. Frankly, my brother looked silly in them. Did you forget to use the bathroom again, Ramon? I'd tease. The day he was arrested, he wore baggy jeans. Almost all of his friends wore baggy jeans. Te ves como un pandillero, súbete los pantalones, Ramon, my mom would often argue. On his court days, he was suited in orange from head to toe. Now that's what I consider criminal attire. He looked like a stranger. Nonetheless, my brother never ever looked like a criminal because he wasn't one. The Bob Marley shirt, his fave. I fold this one twice, making sure Bob's face is showing. I lay the shirt on top of every other piece of clothing. I bought this for his 21st birthday. He wore it out every other night. Surely, it was his favorite shirt. Surely, it was the best birthday gift ever. The Bob Marley birthday shirt should be the first piece of clothing my brother sees when he opens the maleta. I brush Bob's face, imagining my brother's face. He was hairy, unshaven and just so hairy when I saw him in court. Those days, I would shut my eyes tight, wishing that when I opened them, I'd be standing in front of my brother at home, ready to hide from him. No way, man, it's your turn to be it, I'd tease. He'd giggle in response, anxious to hide, anxious to win. We lived together for 18 years. We grew up together, we lived big. That day, I unwillingly walked into the San Francisco Immigration Court by myself, just me and the giant-sized maleta. I am allowed inside because I am the eldest citizen in my family. I dragged the giant-sized maleta into the building. Meanwhile, Mama waited 3 blocks away. She remained standing in front of the car's trunk, organizing my brother's clothes in case the giant-sized maleta had room for more. She's not allowed inside. She'd get taken too. The suitcase is 10 pounds over the limit, young lady. The officer smirks. His mustache is dark, he is brown-skinned. I assume he is Hispanic. I smile at him, hoping he recognizes that I too am of Hispanic race. I swear I am full Mexican, I mentally exclaimed to myself, hoping he'd ignore my Asian-like eyes. My smile is plastered on my face, wishing that somehow I could persuade him to disregard the 10 pounds, wishing that as an 18-year-old girl, he'd focus on my incredulous smile on me rather than the lingering 10 pounds. 10. That was the age of my younger sibling when I unpacked the giant-sized maleta. My American-born little brother, much smaller than he is today. Take the heavy clothes out, but do not remove his favorite clothing. I begin to cry. Focus. I grasp for air, and I supplicate with my eyes. I pray that the officer will allow me to squeeze in an extra pound or 5. Okay, young lady, you need to hurry. I roll my eyes at the sound of his voice. He is not my friend. He is now the villain officer. I purposely ignore him, clenching my jaw. This time, anger flares out of my nostrils. My ears burn with rage. Tears begin to sprout out of my eyes. Damn it, boogers. I reclaim my dignity and blurt out, Sir, my brother, he has nothing in Mexico. I plead in disguise, knowing that deep down I could yell at him for demanding me to withdraw 10 pounds of my brother's clothes. Angry at him for doing his job, I could fight him. I seek and cling on to the slightest act of composure that's left inside of me. Quickly, I gather my brother's clothes, and I bite back a sob from escaping my mouth. I shove the clothes into a white plastic bag that was given to me by the villain officer. In those seconds, I am overwhelmed by a flood of memories of my brother, of my childhood. As if in this giant-sized maleta, embedded in my brother's clothes, the memories would be taken too. I hold my breath as I exit the building, embracing the white plastic bag close to my chest. I hug it tighter, making sure my heart does not fall to the ground. I mentally pause and tame my goosebumps. Finally, I let out a few sobs. Stop crying, stop crying. I hear my brother's voice slither through the cracks of the cold wind. Okay, I mentally respond to myself. Okay, I whisper to my brother. I find my way back to the car where my mom awaits. I'm unsure of how much time has passed. I meet mi mama, who remains standing outside of the car, immobile, and still organizing my brother's clothes. She swiftly turns at the sound of my footsteps. Estaba muy pesada la maleta, mama, I explain before she can blink. My heart ignites with desire to jump into her arms, to apologize and to hold her, to apologize for bringing back my brother's clothes, to apologize for her sorrow. Instead, I hand over the white plastic bag. Her eyes red with agony. I wasn't the only one crying that day. Then, regresa y dale este dinero al oficial. She hands over the money. Dile que tu hermano lo necesita. Dile que no tiene ni un peso. I obey and I nod in agreement. I manage to offer mi mama a reassuring smile, and I make my way to the building. I march in, this time demanding my presence. I am an angry bull. Before the villain officer could say one word, I cry out, my brother is forced to leave the country today. He needs this money to eat. I charge the villain officer, my eyes glued to his. Mesmerized by the tone of my voice, the villain officer stares back. I mumble a few words under my breath, possibly curse words, as I approach him. Here's the money for my brother. Please, he has nothing, no ID, not one bill, just this in the suitcase. I hand him the money and take a few steps back. Okay, the villain officer responds. My eyes feel swollen from crying. I feel them burn into his. The villain officer appears to be possessed by my rage, but no, not by my pain. This was the last day my brother was in the United States. Thank you.